It made me realize that being pretty is a mindset and an energy that you embody, not just emulate. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So as y'all can see by the title, today we're going to be talking about how to become your own beauty standard, okay? I don't necessarily have a reason why I wanted to make this video, but I am passionate about the topic and I've been wanting to talk about it for a while, so that's going to be the reason, okay? So if you find any value from this video, please leave a like or a comment down below. It really helps my channel out a lot to know that you like videos like these. I love each and every one of y'all so much. Thank y'all for y'all's constant support, and thank you so much for all of the love that y'all have been showing me on my channel recently. I really do appreciate it, okay? Go ahead and follow me on my Instagram right down below on the screen, and we're gonna get right into it. So the first step to becoming your own beauty standard is to understand the problem. And the problem is that as women growing up, we've been conditioned by society that there's this one perfect standard of beauty that we must reach in order to be deemed as worthy or attractive. And the result of that conditioning is us constantly chasing and competing to be a perfect 10. And while we're chasing that standard of being a perfect 10, we're chasing a standard that we didn't even create to begin with. That standard came from society, it came from social media, it came from family expectations, and sometimes it can come from bullying from both men and women. But when you start healing and you start unlearning that conditioning, you will naturally stop chasing validation outside of yourself, and then you will also choose to start becoming your own beauty standard. And the goal isn't to be society's perfect 10, but the goal is to be your own perfect 10. The thing with social media and society that we have to understand is that things come and go. Things are always changing. Things that are in style today won't be in style in 5 years, and things that were in style 5 years ago might come back in style today. But that's why we can't base our whole identity and our whole worth and all of our confidence on things that are always changing, things that are fleeting. Another thing is too, a lot of people in society and on social media don't even know what it is that they want. And not only do they not know what they want, they don't even know themselves. So who are they to be holding you to an unrealistic expectation when they're not even meeting that standard themselves? They're not able to tell you what is right and what is wrong, especially when it comes to you, because they're not you. And another thing is too, I genuinely feel like some insecurities don't exist until other people bring it up. Because as kids, I don't feel like we come out of the womb being chronically insecure about things. We don't really think about what's wrong with us until somebody else says that it's wrong. But again, people have been conditioned by their families. They don't know themselves or what it is that they want or what they find beautiful, so they're just gonna see you and think that it's wrong. I can think back to middle school right now and think of some things that people were saying about me that I literally don't feel insecure about to this day. I only felt insecure about it because they made me feel like it was wrong. And when we take our power back and we stop letting other people's expectations or whatever standards they have dictate how we feel about ourselves and what we find beautiful about ourselves, then we start to build that confidence. Then we start to feel secure in ourselves. And then all of those insecurities that people try to plant in our heads, they will start to disappear. The second step to becoming your own beauty standard is to understand the comparison trap. So now that we know that the problem is conditioning, now we can start to work ourselves out of that mindset that we were stuck in. I feel like some women genuinely feel like self-care doesn't work for them, but I think it's helpful when you actually find self-care that makes you feel cared for. Self-care that actually feels aligned with who you are. And the reason I say that is because over the years, I've seen so many conversations online about women saying that no matter what they do to improve themselves, they still feel unattractive. And I don't think it's actually because you are unattractive in itself. I think it's because you're comparing yourself to people that literally look nothing like you. So when you change the blueprint of what it is that you find beautiful, you will start to feel more confident and more validated from the inside. Which, if you haven't already, go back and watch my video on how to validate yourself. So to change our blueprint, we have to start asking ourselves, what do we genuinely find beautiful about ourselves? What kind of makeup do we like on ourselves? What kind of hairstyles do we like on ourselves? What features about ourselves do we find the most beautiful? What are some styles and aesthetics that you naturally gravitate to? Make it a mission to intentionally start finding things beautiful about yourself. And to be your own beauty standard, that means you literally have to be your own blueprint. And to be your own blueprint, you can start by intentionally curating your social media. And what I mean by that is start finding people who look like you phenotypically. And that doesn't mean that y'all have to look identical. It just means that you need to find people that have the same hair types, the same body types, the same skin tones, the same makeup styles that you want. Whatever it is, you need to find somebody who looks like you. Because I feel like that's one of the barriers that keeps us in helplessness when it comes to ourselves, is that we're not finding resources that actually benefit us. So once you find other women or other people in general that resemble what it is that you want and what it is that you look like, now you can start to study and see what parts that you want to take from that. You can look at somebody and be like, I like how they style their belts, or I like the way that they wear their bags, I like the way that they wear their jacket, I like the way that they wear their hair. I'm gonna take that and fuse it into what it is that I genuinely like to create an identity for myself. And I don't get to say this enough, but Pinterest is such a great tool to do this, y'all. Pinterest has evolved so much over the years, and they have so many tools on there to help you find what it is that you're looking for. You can go on there right now down, and there will be some features that'll help you find your skin tone. It'll help you find girls that look similar to you. It'll help you find girls with the same hair type, the same face shape, the same lips, the same nose, literally everything. And when you're on Pinterest, make sure that you're using things like keywords. So if you're a black girl, right, instead of just finding any type of girl with clean girl makeup, if that's the type that you like, how about you go in there and search clean girl makeup styles black girl, right? Or dark skinned girl. If you have 4C hair and you want to find a natural hairstyle that'll work for you, type in 4C natural hairstyles, dark skinned girl, black girl, right? And this can apply across many platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, right? When we're looking for those tutorials on how to do our hair and how to dress and how to do our makeup, that will help us narrow it down to what it is that we're looking for. And like I was saying before, a lot of women get caught in the trap of comparing themselves to girls that don't look like them, and then they get upset and hate themselves when they don't look like the girl that they were following. But the girl that you were following was a girl of a different race when you're black, right? And I'm just saying black because I'm black, right? But it's like if you focus on women that look like you will have such an easier time getting the result that it is that you want. And another way to curate your social media is to follow people who have the aesthetic and styles that you want. There's girls I follow on Instagram right now that have the style that I kind of want to get into. So I love following people that have similar interests and tastes to me. And once you've created a mood board of what you find beautiful and what it is that you want to look like, now you can start shopping and curating the best version of yourself that you want to be. Another thing that really helped me when I first started my self-love journey was to stop using filters and to start looking at myself more in the mirror. This is no shame to anybody that uses filters, but for me personally, when I stopped using filters, I became more comfortable with my face. I was able to see my features for what it was. I was able to see myself how I am naturally, right? And also too, I stopped flipping my photos. Stop inverting your photos, okay? When I stopped inverting my photos, that also helped me get comfortable with how my face is, right? Because when I used to invert my photos and I used to use a lot of filters, when I didn't have the inversion on, when I didn't have the filter on, now my face looks lopsided. Now my face doesn't look natural or normal to me, but that's because I'm used to seeing my face in a different altered state, right? Even right now, my videos, I don't invert my videos. I'm literally sitting on the left side of my car right now as I'm making this video. This is what I look like in real life. And I feel like the more you get comfortable with looking at your face, the more confident you become with your face. And another thing is too, is to start looking at yourself in the mirror more. I know it's easy to kind of avoid mirrors and be like, oh, I'm just not gonna look at myself because I'm not feeling myself right now. But it's like, it's very important to just observe yourself being at whatever moment. Because when you sit and you observe yourself just being however you look, you become more comfortable within yourself. You become more comfortable with who you are. So now that you watch the tutorials, now that you've bought the things that you need, now that you have curated your media around what it is that you find beautiful, now you can start putting those things into practice. And when you start practicing, just remember that it will not be perfect at first, okay? It literally takes practice to become perfect. For example, like I remember when I first started trying to learn how to glue on strip lashes, I literally used to have them on my eyelids, y'all. I'm not even kidding, y'all. If I could find a picture, I would have put one in here. But now that I've practiced over the years, now it doesn't really take me time at all to put on a strip lash. It's just gonna take some time and practice. Another thing is too, you might feel uncomfortable at first. You're gonna feel uncomfortable wearing that makeup, wearing that hair, wearing that outfit. And just because you feel uncomfortable does not mean that you look bad, and it doesn't mean that you did it wrong. It just means it's something that you have to get used to. And you'll also notice that you start to get more attention in different ways. And it's not to say that people are looking at you because you look bad or you did something wrong. It's just that they see you, right? They're admiring your masterpiece. They're admiring the effort that you put in. Another thing is, learn how to be a baddie on a budget, y'all, okay? I'm not saying that you can't spend money on specific things, but I am saying that you need to learn how to shop and work with what you have, right? Even if you're shopping on somewhere like Shein or something like that, just make sure that you're investing in quality pieces from Shein. Make sure your clothes don't look like you got it from Shein, right? And it's not to say that there's anything wrong with your clothes looking like they're from Shein, but if you want to look real nice and polished and you want to be a baddie on a budget for real, just make sure that you're investing in the best pieces that you can get from wherever you're getting it from. And also making sure that you stay fit, making sure that you keep your skin clear, making sure that you can keep your hair done if you can, right? And making sure you have on some nice little simple jewelry. It really does not take much to make sure that you look presentable, to make sure that you look and feel cared for. The third step to becoming your own beauty standard is to shift your perspective around beauty. In my experience growing up, beauty was shamed and it was not allowed. And any signs of wanting or trying to be beautiful would be equated to being fast, being grown, or being shallow. And when you're constantly shamed in that way, you start seeing beauty and self-expression as something that is wrong or something that should be suppressed. And then you start to believe that there's no point and wanting to be beautiful because you will be judged for it. And depending on who you are, you know, you might rebel and you might overdo it when it comes to being beautiful, or you might downplay it and try to be invisible. And it's not to say either experience is wrong or bad, they're just two different experiences. So the first mindset shift is that effort is not shallow. Personally, I think it's our birthright as women and little girls to feel beautiful and to feel like our best and most confident selves, no matter what that looks like. And I'm not going to get into it too much in this video, but I do have to mention this. Most times, if another woman is constantly shaming you for looking good and putting an effort into expressing your femininity, it usually comes from her own struggles with internalized misogyny, meaning that she was conditioned by society to see anything associated with beauty and femininity as wanting attention and being shallow. And most of the time, people are unaware that they're doing this, but what it can sound like is you're doing too much, or that you're fast and you're being grown, or who are you trying to impress? And I just think that sends the wrong message to women that there's something wrong with them personally for wanting to express themselves. And a side note and disclaimer is that everything is not misogyny. Some people are genuinely valid in their critiques of society when it comes to stuff like hypersexuality or the pressure to be perfect. So again, putting an effort in yourself is not shallow. And neglecting yourself in that way does not make you deeper or better than the next person. And also, putting in effort into yourself does not mean that you hate yourself naturally. I feel like when you put in effort, it can be self-care if you allow it to be. Me personally, I love to put on my playlist, do my makeup, and take pictures just for fun because I find it very relaxing and therapeutic. And when I put effort into myself, not only will I look good, but I will feel good. And when I feel good, that means I will do great in life. And that alone will open so many doors and opportunities for you. And the second mindset shift is to stop resenting the game. And what I mean by resenting the game, that can kind of look like saying that you don't care about looks when you know deep down that you do. It can look like avoiding putting in effort, that way you're not judged by other people. It can look like constantly judging or shaming other women that put effort into themselves, or it can be just pretending like beauty does not matter in the world at all, even though you're still affected by it. But the truth about the world is that the game exists whether we like it or not. Whether we participate in the game or not, the game will always be there. But a way we can reframe that is, instead of resenting the game for how it is, how about we play the game in a way that best feels aligned with us? And even if we play the game how society wants us to play the game, or if we play the game how we want to play the game, playing the game does not guarantee you any results. Playing the game is only to increase your chances of getting what it is that you want out of life. So how can you stop resenting the game? You can recognize the reality that looks do matter, because in society, looks do matter. Whether we want to believe it or not, whether we agree with it or not, looks do matter. But you don't have to base your whole self-worth and your whole identity based off of your looks alone, because your looks alone does not determine your worth. Another way is you can stop chasing trends and you can start to build your own rules. You can start dressing how it is that you want. You can present yourself how it is that you want. Another thing is you stop attaching shame to putting in effort, and instead you see it as self-respect, because that's what you choose to do. All of these things is literally you cultivating your confidence and cultivating an identity on the outside. And speaking of self-worth and cultivating your identity, beauty is not just external but an internal job too. And that means how you feel about yourself, how you carry yourself, how you think, and most definitely how you treat other people, especially those that you don't benefit from and that you don't find attractive. The only reason I say that is because in my experience growing up, when I didn't look or feel my best, shallow people, whether they were attractive or not, man or woman, would treat me very rudely. They were very disrespectful. They would treat me like I was less than a human and like I was literally invisible. And I'm definitely the type of person that lives by the golden rule of treat other people how you want to be treated, right? And even beyond the expectation of being treated fairly in return, just be kind anyway. Because why not? Because why not spread kindness? Another thing is too, not having any standards, not having any morals, and always being a negative person can make you unattractive, even if you are an attractive girl. Because I see a lot of attractive women all the time, but they always have a nasty attitude. They're very rude. They're very disrespectful. The way that they think and the way that they move around, how they carry themselves will make them unattractive, right? Same thing with men. If a man is just loose and he's doing whatever and he's all in the streets, even if he's attractive, I'm not going to be attracted to that. Because in my opinion, there's a distinction between the two. Just because you're attractive does not mean that I'm attracted to you. We have to be comfortable recognizing that people look good, but not wanting to be with them. People need to start doing that more, okay? And me personally, I've always been the type, especially with guys, to tell tell them that it doesn't matter what they have monetarily. I care about who you are as a person. I care about how you're going to treat me. I care about how you treat other people. And this doesn't just go for relationships. This goes for friends and family. It goes for literally whoever. I care about who you are as a person, what's on the inside, how it is that you move throughout life, what it is that you believe in, how it is that you carry yourself, and how it is that you respect yourself. That's what I'm attracted to. That's what I'm looking for. I don't care about your money. And every single time they would tell me something like, oh, all girls say that, but guess where they are now? Not in my phone, okay? I'm not playing those types of games. I don't care about your money, because a lot of dudes and people in general would like to throw money at you and try to make it seem like that's gonna fix a problem or that will help you overlook things. But I'm not one of those types of girls that's gonna overlook it, because I'm sensitive, okay? I care about how I feel. And if I feel bad because of how you're treating me, you're gonna have to kick rocks, but I can't have that. Okay, so when you have good character and integrity and you always stay true to yourself, not only do you become more attractive physically, you become more attractive energetically. You'll start to feel like a safe space for yourself. And when you start to feel like a safe space for yourself, you start to discover more parts of yourself. That's when you start finding things that you like. That's when you start experimenting with things. That's when you start feeling more secure in yourself. One of the best compliments I've ever received was that you have such a pretty aura. And that compliment really resonated with me, and I loved it so much because that comment had everything to do with who I am as a person on the inside, right? Because I'm true to myself, because I have integrity, because I have standards, because I have morals, because I love myself, because I'm confident and secure in myself. When you cultivate that identity for yourself, other people can feel that energetically. That's why animals are attracted to you. That's why babies love you. That's why strangers tell their life stories to you, because they feel the energy. They feel that pure soul. They feel that love within you. And when I got that compliment, it made me realize that being pretty is a mindset and an energy that you embody, not just emulate. And another thing that really helped me too on the inside of really feeling like I'm beautiful, because it doesn't matter what you do on the outside, you have to truly believe it, right? Another thing that really helped me was asking God to help me see me how he sees me, because God said that we're perfect in his image, because he's the one that created us. So I'm always asking God to let me see myself how he sees me, to see myself as capable, to see myself as beautiful, to see myself as somebody that is worthy of love, somebody who is enough. When you truly believe that in your soul, it will start to show in literally everything that you do. I promise you that. So the last mindset shift for beauty is that the problem isn't that you want to look or feel beautiful. The problem is that you're trying to fit into a standard of beauty that was not meant for you to fit into. This might hurt a couple feelings, but I have to say it. The truth is, we will never look like the women that are glamorized and pedestalized by society. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We're supposed to look like the best version of ourselves. We're supposed to feel the most confident in our skin. And the thing is, it doesn't matter if people find you attractive or not, and it doesn't matter if people try to humble you and say that you're a 6 on your best day. My thing is, if somebody's gonna say that I'm a 6 on my best day, I'm gonna make sure that I'm the best 6 that I can be. And when I say be the best 6 that I can be, that means in the realm of the 6s, I'm gonna make sure that I'm a 10, okay? And when you take your power back from these people that's trying to humble you and say that you're not all that and that you're thinking too highly of yourself, you will start to just cultivate the confidence. Because I think a misconception about people with me is that they think that I don't like the hate. When people hate on me, it literally just makes me feel better, because it's like, yes, my self-concept is working, okay? Literally, somebody called me delusional the other day, and I was like, you know what? You're so right. Because that's so funny. I just made a video on how to be so obsessed with yourself and so positive that they think that you're delusional. And for you to come and say that I'm delusional, that just proves my point. That just shows that it's working. And just know, when you become real secure in yourself, you start feeling yourself, when you start popping your shit, people are gonna have a problem with that. People are gonna say you're doing too much. You need to be humble. You need to remember where you came from, girl. All of that, okay? I'm feeling myself, okay? Being humble is a scam, I promise you, because I can tell you from personal experience, when I was humble, when I was nice, when I wasn't my best self, when I didn't feel my most confident, that's when people felt like they were bigger than me. That's when people felt like they could step on me and make me feel like I was beneath them. But once I started healing, and once I started being more confident and secure in myself, once I started popping up and popping my ish and really speaking and doing what it is that I feel, now everybody has a problem. Now the room is shaking. But it's like, who is benefiting from me being humble? You don't benefit from being humble. They do. They get to say, oh, you ain't all that. Oh, you ain't gonna ever be nothing. Oh, you ain't gonna ever look like that. Oh, you ain't nothing. You know, only they get to say that. But what do you get out of them saying that? Nothing but insecurity and feeling like you're a less than. You get nothing from being humble. And it's not to say that you should be cocky and arrogant and that you should think that you're better than anybody. No. But it is to know that you are somebody and that you are worth something. And if you want to pop your shit, then that's what you gonna do, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Be confident. Be who you are. Take your power back. Define your look. Define your energy. Define the standards that you have for yourself. And just watch how beautiful you become to not only other people, but to yourself. And you should be proud of yourself for all of the work that you're putting in, all of the work that you're going to do. And you should be proud and happy with the woman that you are on the inside. And also who it is that you see when you look in the mirror. Be kind to yourself. Stop over critiquing yourself. Stop making up insecurities in your head that do not matter. Start popping your shit. Stop being humble. Start being confident. Do what it is that you want. Live how you want. Think how you want. Dress how you want. Who's gonna whoop you at the end of the day? It's your life to live and it's your choice, you know? So that is pretty much all I have to say for this video. If you find any value from it, please leave a like or a comment down below. It really helps my channel out a lot to know that you like videos like these. I love each and every one of y'all so much. Thank y'all for y'all's constant support. I'm always so appreciative of y'all, okay? Let me know in the comments of anything that y'all would want me to talk about. Go ahead and follow me on my Instagram right down below on the screen, and I will see y'all in my next video.